Right, therapy time. Dan Wildboar just woke me up and I'm absolutely zapped. Got bags hanging under my eyes. Done a tuition in Great Yarmouth and then shot through the day. Used my time wisely though. Ended up over the Woolpack and got my rods ready, and then went over to the graphic designer at Daventry via looking at Drayton Reservoir, and some of the Total and ACF boys give me a bit of therapy on Facebook to come and do a bit of filming. Anyway, went over there, see them, and then got here about 9:30 last night, fuzzed the rods out, and at 6 AM this morning I choddy cast into about 25 to 27 foot. I absolutely roared off, and I've got one. I've just put him in a retainer for an hour. I'm going to do the pictures now, and I've got a dinky dorsal again, which I had off the top at 26 pound 2 ounces. So definitely worth the 220-mile trip and setting up in the night. Anyway, I'll show you more in a minute. Right, this is the last few days of, is it January or February now?
January, 30th.
February, is it?
30th of January.
30th of January. And I've got another one from the Midlands, from Charnwood Water. Real nice old one, this is lovely. It's a bit lively. I had him just before first light, and I took the chance to do a few daylight shots. I put him in the retainer for an hour, and get him out. Come on, darling. Fought like an absolute animal. The tape was unreal as well. It was over 3 rods. I spread about 100 16mm vortex boilies, and then fished a white chocolate pop up over the top, and the old long running chod. Hope you see the colours of this. Come on, darling. Look at that. Unreal. Well happy with this one. It's got a little sore on the other side. Right there, it's healing up. And I'm just pulling the lice away that are eating where he's healing. That will slow the process down. So just take that away. Don't take the slime away though. Then I'll put some carp care on it, just before I pop him back. There you go. See that little mark? It's like a little ulcer. Come on, darling. There you go. It's like a little banana, isn't he? Well, slimy. Indicates there's a well-fit fish. Right. There you go. Happy days. The long running chod, and that was in a soft area. Right, I'm going to get him back now. Just keep my eyes watching the water. I've had a naughty sleep, but I was a bit ill Monday, right, yeah, which you don't want to know. Didn't sleep a lot in the night. It hit me just at the end of a tuition on the Monday. So no real sleep Monday. Then I got up, packed up. Then I drove all the way to Daventry. Then I've ended up somewhere else fishing, which is Charnwood in Loughborough. So I didn't get any therapy off the birds because I'm asleep. Yeah, I have got a very powerful laser pen which works in the day. So what I've done, I said to Phil, who runs the water, go over the other side of the lake for us and I'll chuck a lead in there. And what I've done, blooming hell it's windy here, what I've done is, because it's braid, got him to walk along the bank and then the lines across where I'm where I've got most of my rods, and then the birds come along, see the line go ape shit. But it stops therapy. And before we had laser pens, you know, if you could cast across to the other side, that's what we used to do. Otherwise you just get done in the night. So I strayed a little bit, right, yeah, to the dark side. Don't know why. I keep having a little go with this multi-rig, and not a lot though. I really haven't, so I can't draw no conclusions. But I put 2 rods on the multi-rig and I had 2 rods on the long-running chod, and it was the long-running chod what went again. So once daylight was here, you can imagine all the other rods were back on chods. So I've got 4 again rocking on chods. Something I've done a little bit different, just to put a little bit more, not the white chocolate plug from Sticky Baits. I decided to put their buckerberry, just soak some in that. They've probably been soaking now since all the cold weather, so a good 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. And that was the first time I've used one of them white chocolate pop-ups soaked in Sticky Baits butcherberry glug. So I don't think that's a major factor. I like it because it's quite sweet. With like winter sort of things. The main thing is why I'm pretty sure where I caught that fish is it's a white pop-up. White and pink comes into their like eyesight, because they've like lost quite a lot of their eyesight in the winter, so they can see that. What I mean is their spectrum, colour spectrum. So that's why I always use white baits in the winter as a rule. I'm not saying I don't catch on dark baits, I do sometimes, and I do like to mix and match, but white and pink are definitely the ones I would use. Probably more so pink comes into itself the first part of, like, they've woken up sort of thing in the spring, I find anyway. So I'm having a right lazy day as well. Can't be asked to ride. The trees just snap behind me. So knackered. Like I said, I've had one of them power sleeps. I feel a lot better because I was mobbing. Sometimes you've got to do it. I'll get a bit of writing done tomorrow. Plan of action is like next week. I've got an 8-hour tuition which I've got to do at the Woolpack with a customer that's been with me before. So that's sweet. And then what I'm going to do is probably get here, meet him for 8 in the morning. 8 hours, I'll finish by 4. And then, what's it, an hour and a half through the rush hour, you know, maybe 2 hours, I should be here by 6 o'clock. So I have the rods ready again, put the house up, cast them out to the spots. But before I go from here, this area will be loaded with 5 kilo of 15 and 20 mil vortex. And then Phil the bailiff, he'll put like probably 1 kilo over it for me Sunday night. Just a little sort of taster, because there's quite a few tufted ducks on here. That fish was out of about, I ain't going to use a marker or anything, but it's a deep pit, probably 25 to 27 foot, around that depth. It's quite a nice take actually. It weren't, you know, it was pulled up tight, then out the clip by the time I'd undone the door. Yeah, because I wanted darkness, as it was a night after a full moon, so I was scared. by the time I got to rod, it was absolutely like legging it. It's quite a good fight as well, actually. That's two nice fish in January from, you know, a mega hard water. 12 to 14 acres, depths up to 45 foot with about 40 fish, something like that in it. There's a couple in here that do 40 pounds, and it's a long way from home, about 180 mile one way. So you can imagine, can't you? I'm going to stick with this for a little bit longer, see sort of what happens. So I'll definitely be here next week. I'll probably keep with it next week.
Alright, any joy? Sorry.
Any joy? Sorry mate, I've got to do something's quiet, so there you go. And if he does watch YouTube, he won't see this for probably about a month, so it doesn't matter then, does it? So hopefully I might have a nice little thing going here. No one else seems to be much fish in the lake, which is a bonus. And it seems if anyone's on here, it's at the weekend. Happy days. I cancelled that bag feature. What I had to do today, I was just too knackered. So they're coming tomorrow now. Get that out of the way. Oh yeah. You know that water where I went fishing with Harry? 2 24-hour guests. Well, bad news. It's the same old, sorry Marseille, bullshit, two-faced backstabbing wankers. I didn't have a ticket, but I must be banned now, so it's another water. All 4 catching. Poor Harry, a mate who I've known for over 30 years, he's lost his ticket. Or because some sour-faced twat that couldn't flipping catch from, I wouldn't even call it, slightly, remotely difficult, tricky. He's lost his ticket, and this bloke stirred it up that much with the bloke that like runs it, that he said that I named the lake. Well, if you look for all the videos, right, yeah, or the 2 videos on the venue, have I? No. Have I mentioned the lake's name? No. Its whereabouts in what county? That is Northampton. Because if you're going to fuck with me, right, yeah, I'm going to fuck with you, right? So if you go Google map, put in Thrapston, right, yeah, there's a little lake right beside it in the middle of a field, across a field, in the side bay, in one of the side bays off Thrapston. There it is, boys and girls, and it's called the Spinny Lake. Now, the bloke that runs it, right, yeah, if you're going to threaten me, right, yeah, make sure you do it properly, because Uncle Jim always has the last laugh, no matter what, trust me. Anyway, I'll probably talk more about this at some other time, right, yeah, but I'm just going to chill out and have a little sleep. The bloke that done all the shit stirring, who's only caught 3 fish out of the lake in the last 5 years, should be ashamed of himself. And where he works, everyone now knows it's fucking grass. He's a shit stirring, sad bastard. Just had this one. Looks about 16 to 18 pounds common. Happy days. Right, that was a bit of a weird one. The other 2 bites I've had in January have been like a couple of hours before, well, 1 an hour, 2 hours before first light. So to have one in the middle of the day is a right touch, and a bit unusual really. So Still monging a bit. I was just sitting there dishing out a bit of therapy on Twitter and Facebook, and then I had a weird take by tufties diving over me. Now that line, they keep out of it, but they've now moved to the right hand areas, right, yeah? Because the line's quite, well, that braided line stretched across this bay is out the way of that. So what I've been doing, because the conditions, like, to me, like screaming carp, massive low pressure, it's cooler than yesterday, down from like, well, when I went to bed it was still 12 degrees from 14 degrees. A minute ago I just like popped over to the van and it was like 11, but it's like the low pressure is just like bang on. We've had a bit of sun and then there's a new front moved in, so it was a bit high pressure, and then like the next front's coming. We just had a bit of rain, it's just gone sunny again, but it's blowing an absolute hoolie out there. And it's a weird take, sort of a few bleeps, slack, looked at it, went out there, a few bleeps, stayed where it was, looked out, see tufties pop up, and then there was no tufty moving. I turned the buzzer off and the line was twitching, so I started pulling the line. I got loads and loads of slack, so I just couldn't work it out, so it was a drop back, bang, one on. So I kept the bait going out. I put no 20s but 15s and 12 millers out there, regular, like match fishing. Just keep putting out probably 50 baits every hour. With 12 millers, it's quite a few single baits. So, but they're obviously having it out there, and that was a bait still in position from last night, and it was the right hand rod where I had the 36 the first week of January, so it was next to where I had that one in the night, well, early hours this morning. It's funny seeing them tufties. They don't like that blooming line across that bay. So I'll show you a little bit about it actually. There it is, look. I've got it strapped on the barra. The wind's pulled it out. It's saved there. It goes out and over to the other side. And I've got it tied on a bush there. So it stops them doing what they're doing. Not the biggest carp, but the prettiest carp. £16, 10 ounce common. Caught out of 20 odd foot of water. And an unusual take time in the middle of the day. So they're definitely on it. Been baiting match style tactics. It's like little and often. With the conditions being so good and having a bite, just thought it'd be rude not to keep topping the swim up. 12 and 15 mils. There you go. Right, we'll get this back. Look at this push in the wind. Just on the side of it. January, double figure temperatures and a massive low blow like this. Just couldn't ask for better. And they're having it. Watch the coots. They do not like the line. You give the therapy, you can have some Uncle Jim therapy back. Look at him looking at it. Learn, you white-faced mother. Shake your head. Oh dear, it's still there. Look, and the white one. If I suddenly give him a bit of laser pen therapy, look. Christ, I can't do it fast enough. Gone.